Of all the unforgettable characters in Yellowstone, two underdogs have quietly stolen the hearts of fans across the world: Jimmy and Teeter. Their stories haven't been the flashiest, but they've been some of the most raw, real, and relatable. From grit and heartbreak to resilience and redemption, these two have been on a journey that's nothing short of inspiring. And if you've been rooting for them like I have, you'll understand why their growth feels so personal. Now, here's the exciting part: with the 4-6's spin-off finally taking shape, Jimmy and Teeter aren't just supporting characters anymore. They're stepping into the spotlight, and their next chapter is going to shake up everything we thought we knew about the Yellowstone universe. This isn't just a continuation, it's a bold new beginning. Let's dive into what's coming and why it could change the game forever. When I was working on this video, I found myself thinking a lot about Jimmy, where he started, where he's been, and where he's headed. It hit me just how powerful his journey has been, not just as a cowboy, but as a human being trying to find his place in a brutal, unforgiving world. I mean, who could forget the moment he first arrived at the Yellowstone Ranch? He was completely lost, battered by life, caught up in bad choices, and lacking any real sense of direction. He wasn't just inexperienced, he was broken, insecure, and full of doubt. Honestly, it felt like he was seconds away from giving up on himself. But that's exactly what made watching him so powerful. Jimmy's growth wasn't easy, and it sure wasn't pretty, but it was real. He got knocked down again and again. But every time, he got back up with a little more strength, a little more grit. And slowly, painfully, he became something nobody expected: a man of honor. A man who earned his place with sweat, scars, and stubborn determination. Not through shortcuts, but through showing up day after day, willing to be humbled, willing to learn, and willing to change. Over time, Jimmy turned into a capable cowboy, yes, but more importantly, he became someone who understands what loyalty really means. He's no longer the awkward outsider hoping to survive. He's a man who's proven he belongs not just on the ranch, but in this world. And now he's about to face the biggest challenge of his life. With the 4-6's spin-off coming, Jimmy is stepping into a role that will define his future. We're talking about one of the most iconic, historic ranches in America, where tradition runs deep and only the best of the best survive. Jimmy's not just heading to Texas, he's entering a whole new arena where everything he's learned will be put to the test. Let's be honest, this isn't just a change of scenery. This is a transformation into leadership. Jimmy will have to earn every bit of respect he gets, and nothing will be handed to him. The cowboys at 4-6's don't mess around. They're sharp, seasoned, and they don't care who you were, only who you are now. And that's why I'm excited. Because if there's one thing Yellowstone taught us, it's that Jimmy doesn't back down. He may not be the loudest or the boldest, but he's got something even more important: heart. The kind of heart that's earned, not given. The kind of heart that makes legends. So what do you think? Has Jimmy earned his spot? Are you ready to see him take the reins at the 4-6's? Because ready or not, his next chapter is just beginning, and it's going to be something truly unforgettable. Feel free to disagree with me in the comments, but to me, if anyone's ready for it, it's Jimmy. Because as I said, he's not the same lost kid who showed up at the Dutton ranch. He's got grit now, and that's exactly what it'll take to survive at the 4-6's, at least in my humble opinion. We also can't ignore the fact that Jimmy's relationship with Emily is another huge part of his growth. The fact that he's managed to find love amidst all the chaos and uncertainty speaks volumes about how much he's matured. Not going to lie, I really struggled watching Jimmy torn between Mia and Emily. It wasn't just messy, it was painful. You could see the emotional toll it took on both women. And let's be honest, neither of them deserved to be caught in that kind of limbo. Maya wanted a version of Jimmy that no longer existed, while Emily represented the man he was slowly becoming. It was frustrating at times, but also very human, because how many of us have found ourselves stuck between who we were and who we're trying to be? Thankfully, the writers didn't let that storyline drag on forever. When Jimmy finally chose Emily, it wasn't just a romantic decision, it was a defining moment of clarity. He proved that he finally knew what he wanted in life, and more importantly, he had the courage to go after it. That kind of emotional maturity is something we hadn't seen in him before. It showed growth, purpose, and a willingness to stop running from the hard stuff. And that mindset? That's exactly what he'll need to survive at the Four Sixes. The challenges ahead are going to test his limits in ways he's never experienced, but having someone like Emily by his side gives him an anchor, a reason to keep pushing forward. Even if he stumbles, you just know Emily will be the one lifting him up, reminding him of how far he's come. She's not just his love interest, she's his support system, and that kind of bond is rare. Now, let's be real, Jimmy is great, but if we're being totally honest, a huge reason many of us are counting down the days until the Four Sixes spin-off is because of Teeter. Teeter has been a force since day one. She's the kind of character who walks into a scene and instantly changes the energy. There's no filter, no fluff, just raw strength, fierce loyalty, and a don't mess with me attitude that commands respect. I've always admired how unapologetically herself she is. She's bold, gritty, and full of heart, and let's not forget, she held her own in a world dominated by tough men, proving time and again that she was just as capable, if not more so. Losing Colby left a noticeable void in her story, and I'll admit, I wasn't sure how they were going to keep her narrative alive without him. But her decision to head to Texas and join the Four Sixes? That was a powerful move. It showed she's not stuck in the past. She's ready for a new chapter, one where she defines her future on her own terms. And what excites me most about Teeter's role at the Four Sixes is the sheer chaos she's bound to bring in the best way possible. This ranch runs like a well-oiled machine, steeped in tradition and hierarchy. But here comes Teeter, unpredictable and fiercely independent, ready to challenge the status quo. She's going to rattle cages, raise eyebrows, and force people to pay attention. And honestly, that's exactly what the Four Sixes needs. Her bond with Jimmy is also going to be a huge emotional anchor for the show. They've always shared this unspoken, sibling-like loyalty. Through heartbreaks, near-death experiences, and every fight in between, they've stood by each other. They joke, they argue, they push each other's buttons, but deep down, they always have each other's back. It's one of the most authentic relationships in Yellowstone, and seeing that dynamic continue in Texas is something fans are absolutely going to love. As they step into this new world, Jimmy and Teeter won't just be trying to survive, they'll be shaping what the Four Sixes becomes. Together, they're not just bringing their skills, they're bringing heart, grit, and a whole lot of attitude. And if you ask me, Texas has no idea what's coming. But it's not going to be all smooth sailing. The Four Sixes is a serious operation with a reputation to protect. The cowboys there aren't going to roll out the welcome mat just because Jimmy and Teeter have Yellowstone on their RR-some-S. They're going to have to earn their place. That means long days, tough lessons, and probably a few hard knocks along the way. Jimmy and Teeter have already been through so much, but this is going to be next-level tough. To me, what makes this next chapter so thrilling is that it's not just a continuation, it's a bold expansion of the Yellowstone legacy. The shift to the Four Sixes Ranch feels like we're stepping into uncharted territory, but with characters we've grown to love and trust. And the fact that Taylor Sheridan owns the ranch in real life? That's not just a fun fact, it's a promise. A promise that what we're about to see will be rooted in authenticity, tradition, and a deep respect for the cowboy way of life. Yellowstone has always been about more than just drama. It's about legacy, loyalty, and fighting to preserve a disappearing way of life. And now, with Four Sixes, we get to see how that spirit carries on in a whole new world, on a much larger scale. It's going to be raw, it's going to be real, and if the past is any indication, it's going to leave a mark. The Four Sixes series is expected to drop in November 2025, and trust me, I'll be watching every second of it with you. If you're just as excited as I am and want to stay in the loop with weekly updates, behind-the-scenes details, and deep dives into everything Yellowstone and beyond, don't forget to like, follow, and share. And, hey, thank you. Seriously, whether you've been here from the beginning or just joined today, your support means everything. You make this journey worth it, and I can't wait to continue exploring this universe together. In the meantime, check out the video on your screen. I think you're really going to enjoy it.